Artificial intelligence is not a silver bullet. It is not the solution to every one of your technological problems. And I think in the modern environment, there is certainly a fear of missing out. But if you lead with a technology-first approach, I think you're setting up yourself for failure. I want to talk about artificial intelligence and the level of due diligence you need to engage in before you adopt an AI tool. My name is Marcus Harris. I'm a software and technology attorney. For the last 20 years, I have devoted my practice to negotiating and drafting a variety of technology-related agreements and litigating failed technology projects in courts across the country. There's no question that companies are adopting artificial intelligence at a rapid rate. Certain studies by Forrester suggest that 78% of companies reported using AI at least in one business function as of 2025. 99% of the Fortune 500 have adopted artificial intelligence, and 92% of companies plan on increasing their AI investment in the next 3 years. So there's no question that companies are adopting AI at a rapid pace. But I think if you are considering adopting artificial intelligence, you really want to make sure that you have done the necessary due diligence, that you have first and foremost a business case for adopting that artificial intelligence tool, and you're not just simply chasing shiny objects because you have a fear of missing out. You can't lead with a technology-first mentality. So you want to understand your business case. You want to make sure that there is a need in your industry, your company, your organization for the AI tool, and that there is a problem that AI tool is solving. You want to understand the reason for your adoption of the AI tool and its intended use case. You've also got to make sure that you understand any regulatory and legal requirements there that may exist with respect to your use of that AI tool. Before you adopt AI functionality, you want to have an understanding of what the risks are with your use of that AI tool. So you want to know what type of data is being trained on the AI tool. You want to analyze how complete and representative that corpus of AI data is for the purpose that you intend to use the AI tool for. You want to have an understanding of how the algorithm impacts the output. So there's got to be a high level of transparency associated with that algorithm and how it is learning from the data that is in that corpus of data, what it is putting out, what the outputs are. And you want that level of transparency because you want to have an understanding of if there's any bias with the way that that algorithm is producing its outputs. You want to know how the algorithms are chosen by the vendor and how they work. They may not be suitable for your type of business. I mean, if you're in the healthcare business, that's one thing. If you're making decisions about the insurability of certain patients, that's another thing. If you're providing credit or loans based on utilizing artificial intelligence tools, I mean, it's going to be incredibly important for you to understand how that algorithm works and what its tendencies towards bias are. You want to have an understanding of the data privacy and confidentiality vulnerabilities of that AI tool. You want to ensure that you know how the AI functionality arrives at its output. And again, this needs to be transparent and it needs to be explainable. You want to be able to make a determination that yes, this output is biased, it's problematic, it has errors in it, and you want to be able to go back and see where did that bias, where did that hallucination, where did that problem originate, and what can we do to fix it? You want to consider how easy it is to understand how the AI functionality arrives at these decisions. And again, it's all about transparency and explainability. As you're utilizing that AI tool in your business, you want to make sure that you've got some mitigation strategies, because I think that the likelihood that there is going to be an error at some time with respect to that AI tool is probably pretty high. You're going to want to implement a process to mitigate risks. You're going to want to be proactive and put preventative measures in place to mitigate risks with respect to data cleansing, bias detection procedures, incident response plans. All of those things need to be well thought out. I mean, if you've got a chat bot on your publicly facing website that is spitting out incorrect information, you need to be able to know that it's doing that, and you need to be able to deal with it, be able to respond to whatever problems it's creating, and be able to mitigate the risk to your business from that AI tool. And how do you do that? Well, I think you've got to have a level of due diligence associated with auditing and monitoring the way that that tool is working on a going forward basis. You want to always make sure that there is a human in the mix, right? You can't just implement an AI tool and let it run wild, especially if it's customer facing or you're making critical decisions based on the utilization of that tool. You've got to consistently validate the output that is coming from that AI tool, make sure that it's accurate, make sure you understand it, and make sure that you're able to mitigate any risks that are presented by that data. So again, AI right now is certainly a shiny object. And I think that it is transformative, and it's clear that the industry is moving towards artificial intelligence, and it's going to have this massive transformative effect on most industries. But you have to have a reason for adopting the artificial intelligence tool, and that reason needs to serve a business case within your organization. It needs to solve a problem, and it needs to be well thought out. You can't simply adopt artificial intelligence to say that you've adopted it. If you're doing that, I think you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're going to have unintended consequences that could have drastic or dramatic impacts on your business, and potentially result in significant damages or litigation. So certainly, I think you want to be skeptical about the implementation of these tools, and do it with a high level of intentionality and with the right due diligence in place. If you have any questions about anything I've talked about in this video, please feel free to reach out to me at taftlaw.com. I'd love to talk to you and get you pointed in the right direction.